down.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter.
Copy.
Taking risks, making moves,
all
seeking success.
links
Together we'll
here.
conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell.
Boom.
My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and
Let me finish. Morning, Josh, Wendy, Rusty. I got a big show. There's a lot that's coming up, including a Friday catalyst that could be crazy. So let me open up my links so we can show. And I got a lot of links, so open with Google Chrome. Open with Google Chrome. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears. And I did a lot of work on this episode. Because people are coming back. Let's see. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. I'm still opening up links, by the way, just so everyone's aware. I'm only halfway. There's a lot of information today. A lot of information. I'm almost done. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound. I got everything. Head over here. I got some new graphics. It's catchy. I got some new graphics down below. AI tracking. Let's try this. I mean, yesterday it put me all the way over to the left or right. Wasn't great. There we go. Because I tend to lean a little bit. And then it zooms in and zooms out. And it's wacky. Morning, Travis. Morning, Jennifer. I'm not going to put up so I can see chats and stuff like that. I do have to turn on the do not disturb. I tried out live yesterday from the desktop on Substack. Many of you were there. Wendy, the way, and hopefully you'll understand this, the way I was able to see the chat was I had to open up a separate window. So I was actually on the desktop looking at the chat, but it was in a separate browser. So I don't know, again, I'm the host, so I think there's some wackiness there. But next time I go live, it might be Friday, Because to be perfectly honest with you, there's a big catalyst coming up on Friday that is crazy and could jolt the markets a little bit. And so I'm going to I'll go through that. So stick around to the end. If you're listening, I mean, if you just want to hear the catalyst, go like an hour later, because it's a long show. But I don't know, as a viewer, I know MK said she saw all the chat on the mobile version. So, and the mobile version, I tell you what, the recording turned out perfectly. It uploaded like a crystal clear. It was better quality than what YouTube gives. So I was shocked. I wrote to Substack last night. The quality was fantastic. It was unbelievably good. So I'm going to get right into the episode. No kind of digging around here. So let me just go over my notes. I did make some changes to the paid newsletter. Founding members is sold out for 2026. I can't believe it. It's $400 and then they pay me $150 every time. Sold out. I don't want to do it for more than a certain number of people. It is sold out. I have that. And the only reason, it sounds like a crazy amount. Like, people pay $400 for the newsletter a year, and you get once a month, you get to pay me $150 for a one-on-one. So the people that the 20, 25 people that joined the live on Substack yesterday, they got a bonus because you're one of 25 people. I mean, I'm one-on-one. And what I plan on doing is some lives I can actually go and bring someone else up on stage. So I can bring you up on stage and it's two people on the screen. I only know how to do that in the mobile version. So it'll be kind of a special episode or something. But between my thoughts on the top stocks, the Tuesday office hours, the educational stuff that I'm going to kind of bring back, with a one indicator kind of per week or, every so often. And then you get access to all these portfolios, which are $299 a year. You get free access when you sign up for $200. So I don't think it's bad. I mean, to each his own. Some people may say a Twinkie isn't worth $9.99, but in my book, a devil dog is worth $9.99. The vanilla version, which is the Twinkie, is probably worth $3, not $9. But I'd pay $9 for a devil dog. Absolutely, I'd pay $9 for a devil dog. So, yeah, I had somebody write to me yesterday. And by the way, if you get in on the price, I'm going to raise the price probably as I go through this year and more people start subscribing. I'll probably raise the price. And the reason I raise the price is not because I'm a greedy motherfucker, and I'm not. The reason I raise the price is because the community needs to be a certain size and not huge. So when I cut off founding members, it's because I don't want to do it for 60, 70 people one-on-ones every month, no matter the amount of money. I don't want to, 400 people joining the Tuesday office hours. And then I've got international people. I think Substack told me I'm in something like 60 countries paying subscribers pay in. That's a lot, because then I've got to go different time zones. And ultimately, hey, I have a life too. So, But I'm not complaining. I appreciate the people that support me. So I'll do whatever I can for those folks that sign up for the newsletter, other than give financial advice. Roblox is interesting. Roblox is one of these companies that's not making money. It is probably the best gaming platform, and I brought up that Mr. Beast is now doing freaking his gaming channel is highlighting Roblox. I still don't understand it at all. I don't understand Roblox one bit. I've never been on the platform. I never understand it. The valuation is nuts. The profitability, nuts. Momentum hasn't been good. But, analysts are bringing their earnings per share up, their revenue up, and yet, momentum, we've seen it down 39% over 3 months, 26%. It's never been a strong buy, it was a buy here, a strong buy at 118. I don't know how that changed. Let's see, 723. Let's see what changed on 723. So none of the grading changed. Was a D. The momentum was an A+ back here. So, and momentum is a factor that is probably the strongest. I mean, Steve goes over it. There is a great Investing Experts podcast. Throw it on your radar. It's Steve Cress talking about, and I'll put it in the newsletter as well. But you can listen to the Investing Experts podcast. You don't need to be a subscriber to Seeking Alpha. They're on Spotfiy, Apple. Just the transcript is here on Seeking Alpha. I don't get this. Yeah, they put something up here that's not. The Discord IPO is interesting. But and NRG was down 1.21. It's not. They may not like the new CEO, but may offer insights. The study authored by Ming is positively associated with same-day returns, but negatively predicts returns over the following month. A standard deviation increase. I don't understand what this is saying. This is fine. Dynamic visual content also captures emotional attention. I have no idea what that means. That would be one. I'd throw it into perplexity and say, what the hell? What's going on? Okay, there's going to be some dog excitement here as somebody comes down from upstairs. Bum bum. Oh, okay. I probably should close that door. Hold on. I'm going to close the door. Let me just stop the AI tracking so it doesn't follow me. I'm going to put this here. We're going to just close that one up. Don't worry, she's coming. You can sit there and stare at the stairs. I'm sure she's coming down. Sit there and stare at the stairs. Do 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 do. We had an entry in the 4-hour algorithm on the Qs. But, I mean, again, 633. I didn't add to my Qs. The upside for me is just, again, I'd like to see it back down here around 600 or so before I kind of throw a bunch more money into it. What was interesting is the AEVA, which I brought up yesterday on the stuff. It gave me a trigger at 1757 in pre-market. It's at 1716. I didn't buy it. 4-hour algorithm greatly outpaces the buy and hold. But I didn't feel comfortable with it. Again, it's LiDAR, so I went over that and they paid paid section yesterday. ALMS. I mean, that's the nature of biopharmas, is that they will just shoot up. It's up 6%. I mean, look at that. Butter here at $4.74. This 4-hour algorithm's so good. Over the past 18 months, though, since this thing, I mean, look at the weekly chart on this one. You have a complete IPO and then just a downturn as the 50-day started to turn. I mean, here's the key. That 50-day, your high was 775. As it starts to make its way over there and you start to see the RSI pick up. And then you see this week. I mean, this is up 82% this week. That's crazy. Let's see. ALMS. I don't think it's going to be in the quant. Oh, it is a quant. Hold. Strong buy. Nobody's covering it from Seeking Alpha analysts. There's 8 analysts that cover it, and they have a 92% upside. But the revisions, yeah, nobody's bringing their revenue up. Valuation doesn't have a PE, so it doesn't make money. Growth. Let's see, financials. What are they making? No revenues. No revenue. We're not worried about revenues. We have a $1.69 billion market cap. Revenues doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whatsoever. Again, trade it. Travis, I hope you're in that one. Split view makes it easier. Oh, put pages side by side in the same tab so you can easily compare options and more. Ooh, I'm going to say remind me later. They're doing a lot with these pop-ups showing you how to use the tool. I like Trendspider. I mean, they gave me a pop-up the other day that was really good. This one, I still have to add to it. I haven't added to that trigger. I don't know why I'm getting. Let me check my. That I'm not going to lose. Okay, 77 and 96. I won't lose it. Yeah, it's a pretty good, pretty stretched if you want to, I mean, it is pretty stretched, but it's not even at all-time highs. I mean, go back and look at this one, and it hit $38, and you're trading at 21. It can go higher. But there we go. Shrink that down to that. Okay, I'm going to start recording now. Good morning. It is Wednesday, hump day, January 7th. It's the new year. New year, new me. I got new graphics on the screen, so if you're not watching the video, go and look at the graphics. Tell me what you think. It's a little simpler, a little easier, a little blue. I don't know. Stick around to the end because Friday, it is Wednesday, but Friday, there's an enormous catalyst with volatility up or down. I fed this catalyst into Perplexity. I'm going to read exactly what Perplexity said, give you all of the details. We're going to go over the top 2026 stocks from Steve Cress yesterday. Gave my complete opinion on a podcast on the newsletter, so you'll have that. But you want to know what running this podcast is like? Here's a little video. One of the best ways to drain people's energy on the internet. This woman's an astrophysicist. This is not how space it works. Read a book. That's what running this podcast is like. 100%. I'm no expert. I'm just a douche on the internet. Rule number 1 of this podcast: do not trust a douche on the internet, and I am that douche. Rule number 2: don't buy anything that Jim Cramer tells you to buy. But there are experts out there who are 15-year-old kids who have $100 in a Robinhood account who turned it into $120, and they are telling me, you don't know what you're talking about. Apple sucks. That's what running this podcast is like. But my mornings are filled with glory. You want to know why? Because waking up to an email from Trendspider giving me all of the alerts on the 4-hour algorithm, okay? New symbols are blue. Symbols no longer meeting this criteria. These are entries into the 4-hour algorithm. So Amazon yesterday, and we'll go over Amazon in a little bit. Amazon yesterday didn't give me a buy or a sell, but it's bumping right up there against that 242. So I can literally work smarter, not harder. Again, this tool, Trendspider, has turned hours of research into minutes for me. It's more about the time that I save. So let's talk about some of the things that I give back to. Yesterday, I had a Tuesday office hours exclusively live on Substack. May look familiar because, again, I'm trying to do things a little different in 2026. So a few people joined me. A bunch of people were on there asking me questions. I took questions. It's a live interactive. You ever been on Reddit with Ask Me Anythings? That's what it is. Every Tuesday this year, I am going to go live on Substack and you can ask me anything. I had some technical issues at the beginning, but I will get better at it. Again, I'm no expert. I don't have a team behind me. I don't have a technical expert, but I'll be there. I will make sure that every question gets answered. The other thing about a paid newsletter, folks, the founding members of the newsletter, you get lucky because I sold out of the founding members. Okay, I sold out of 2026. Those one-on-ones are no longer available. So the only way to get to me is to pay the lower price for the newsletter, and then you can join these Ask Me Anythings. I'll be changing the price of the newsletter. As it becomes more popular, I will raise the price. It may not make sense like that, but the reality is I want to keep the community smaller. So I will do it. One tip I brought up yesterday, okay, to that group is watch lists. Make sure you have your watch lists available for 2026. We hit an all-time high on the Dow yesterday and the S&P. Okay, I have watch lists set up. You see on my my Seeking Alpha setup, I have watch lists all over the place. There are portfolios here on the left. I have alerts set up. I also have them in Trendspider. Up here, I have a bunch of particular ones that I have. You get most of those daily stock pick ones when you sign up for Trendspider. I can't share my watch lists or portfolios here on Seeking Alpha, or else I put them in the newsletter. But again, I brought that up as a tip because we're at all-time highs. What happens typically at all-time highs? One thing all-time highs lead to new all-time highs. But you also can get pullbacks. And that's where you want to make sure you have a watch list. And I will bring up Micron. We will go over Micron later in this podcast. But SanDisk and the memory stocks soared yesterday. SanDisk was up 27%. Western Digital, 16%. Seagate Technologies up 14%. Micron was up 10%. I also found out why SanDisk, people have asked me, why isn't it covered by the Quant? This is a stock that is up 900% in a year. It's up huge. You want to know why it's not in the Quant? I found out yesterday. It's because it hasn't traded for a year. February 13th, 2025. 2026 on February 13th, I expect this to be rated by the Quant. And I went over it yesterday. I looked at it. It's up 900% in just 1 year. And I looked at it. I think you're going to get a hold rating. Because when I look at Wall Street, They have an average price target of 269. Okay, that's 22% downside from where it's trading. You have a 4% short interest. My guess is this is some type of short squeeze, but it's expensive. It is incredibly expensive. Go to the valuation. You don't have a PE, the forward when they turn into it. The PEG ratio is where you have the ability for this stock to continue to go up, because the PEG ratio is 0.26. I've gone over the PEG ratio plenty of times. But again, you can look at the growth, 10% revenue growth year over year. I have done the comparison. I did it yesterday on the paid newsletter between Pure Storage, Western Digital, Seagate, and SanDisk. Again, it's up. The SanDisk is up 900% in 1 year. Let's see. Let's pull that up. Oh, it hasn't even hit 1 year, but we can go 6 months, 673%. I mean, again, it's crazy. And SanDisk, what do the ratings say? What do the ratings say? This is a full analysis of what the ratings say. Seeking Alpha analysts, they have a 3.75 out of 5. They beat the market. Wall Street analysts have a 4.23 out of 5. So again, they put the price target there and what the ratings say. But I want to bring up something, okay? SMH. SMH, we can go and look at SMH before we look at that chart. SMH right here. SMH, the 52-week range is between 170 and 389. It hit 389 yesterday. SMH is the VanEck Semiconductor ETF. And I want to point out the holdings, okay? 20% of this is NVIDIA. 20% is NVIDIA. And when you look at this, it was up 2% yesterday. And yet, NVIDIA was down yesterday. So the other 80% of this ETF must have done really, really well. So it looked, I said, let me look at this. Let me look at SMH versus VOO versus NVIDIA over the last 6 months. Because again, NVIDIA is 20% of SMH. It is like having 20% of your portfolio in one stock. And yet that portfolio goes up 38%, even though that one stock is not going up as much. Because over the 6 months, SMH is up 38%, NVIDIA is up 18%. Both of those are outpacing the S&P. So it is clear semiconductors and some of that 80% below NVIDIA have been outpacing VOO by a large amount. So when you look at SMH and you go and look at the holdings, maybe some of these deserve to be in your watch list. We have Taiwan Semi at 10%. We have Broadcom at 7%. We have ASML at 5%. Same thing. Micron, which we know is up huge, is 5% of this. Lam Research, AMD, which I particularly like, is 4%. So again, with this chart, we know semiconductor ETF is outpacing the leading semiconductor stock. The lower names, even Applied Digital and Micron, which are up huge over 6 months. The lower names are making the move. It's broadening out. Okay? And that's what I put in the note over on Substack. It's just broadening out. Now, let's talk some tips. Before I get into the top 2025 stocks, I want to bring up some things like Amazon. Okay? I brought up Amazon because I showed the Mag 7 over here, and I just look at the year-to-date performance, and I saw Amazon, or I'm sorry, let's look at 1 year. We can look at 6 months. Amazon, well, again, Amazon over 6 months is 7.8%, but when you look at 1 year, I don't have 1 year up here. Does it, let's see, performance. I think I have 1 year there. No, it doesn't have it. Yeah, 1 year performance. Let's look at that. Because 1 year Amazon, you have Tesla below it. Just below it, it just went because Tesla was down yesterday. You have Meta below it. You have Netflix. all of these bottom dwellers right here in the Mag 7, and remember, Netflix is not necessarily in the Mag 7. I just added it there along with Broadcom. But when you look at these bottom ones, will they outperform? Well, Amazon was up 3% yesterday. I bring up the chart because this 226 right here on December 18th, while the market has been flat, Amazon did really well. That 242 needs to turn to support versus resistance. It needs to turn to support versus resistance. We can see it pop up here in September. We can see it pop up here in November. We can see it pop up now in January. Until that turns into support, that's resistance. Does it make sense buying Amazon at 240? No. And then you have Meta. And these are just some tips I've given. Okay, I bought Meta at 660, I think 620 somewhere. I bought it under 600 as well. And I bought a bunch at under 600 as it dipped because the top, I think, is 740. The 4-hour algorithm gets you out at about 660, 670. But I want to bring up something. Meta said they can't launch their smart glasses in Europe. Why? You might think it's regulation. No. It's because the demand in the US for these damn glasses is so strong. That's a nice problem to have. And if for some reason, again, that Mag 7, we looked at Meta, it's down there over 1 year. It's not outperforming over 1 year. It's a strong buy on Wall Street. They think it's worth $836. Now, if for some reason Zuckerberg comes back and says, you know what? We've stopped spending. We've slowed spending on the AI front. We're not going to spend as much on salaries. We're not going to spend as much on chips. We think we've hit as much as we can, and we're still getting eyeballs. And Instagram is in a death fight with TikTok. I like this stock. I like it a lot. Again, the growth, that's where you have some problems with their levered free cash flow because of the spending. And it's the spending that's the problem. But for long term, I think this is one of the best of the Mag 7 opportunities out there. Now let's talk about Alpha Picks, because Alpha Picks is a data-driven portfolio. You get a pick on the 1st and the 15th. We get one in 2 weeks, I think. We just got one. I will bring up the Alpha Pick that came out on Friday last week is already up 10%. It's a copper and gold miner. Year to date, just in 7 days, there's one stock that's up 13% year to date. There's another that's up 9%. 11 of the stocks in this portfolio are up 5% or more. Okay? And one tip, I brought this up earlier. One tip that I gave the paid newsletter subscribers yesterday was about watch lists. Here's a tip. Alpha Picks has a tab of closed portfolio positions, okay? Put that in your watch list. Want to know why? Because one stock, Zeta, this is a closed position. It was up 10% yesterday, just on a partnership with OpenAI. I'm hearing a lot of retail chatter about this. Okay, another one, GCT, that was closed out in 2024. Over 6 months, it's up 106%. It was up 4% yesterday. It's a strong buy from the Quant. This was removed based on some of the short selling. Wall Street says it's a buy. It's 9% downside. Put it on a watch list because this one has a real range that it trades in. And you can see when it gets to that 40, it was removed from Alpha Picks 9, 12, 24. But when it gets to that 40, it pulls back. This is a range. Have it on a watch list. Okay, I like those two stocks. Now, let's talk about the other benefit of Seeking Alpha. Okay, the Seeking Alpha, you can get a free 7-day trial to go and find out what the top 10 Seeking Alpha picks are for the year. This has greatly outpaced the market. Okay, This is why I suggest people get the bundle. When you get the bundle, you get Alpha Picks, which is that great portfolio with a phenomenal return of 274% during the same time the S&P is up 82%. I think I was up like 100% in a year. It might be like 70%, somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly. I don't trade the portfolio exactly. I do kind of go back and forth. But when you get the bundle, you also get the 2026 top stocks, and you can invest in those. And I put some highlights into the newsletter yesterday, okay? I basically went over the stops, the top 2026 stocks. So it's at the newsletter. If you go to the newsletter, it's right there at the top. And I did that yesterday for the paid subscribers. But Steve Cress has his article out here. And I'm going to go over just a few highlights from the nearly 2-hour seminar. And it will be put out there on video, probably today, maybe tomorrow. But let me just go over a couple of things. Penny, stop. The garbage is here. Let me go over a couple of things. Steve yesterday brought up stocks with good fundamentals may get clobbered during downturns. I predict a 15 to 20% downturn. And Steve said yesterday, this is a real likely time when you could get a downturn. But we saw it in April of last year. That's when you want to buy. If you buy a stock during the downturn, okay, that's a quality stock. And all of these top 10 stocks are GARP, growth at a reasonable price. He brought up Peter Lynch and Warren Buffett quotes yesterday saying that both of them tell you to buy on a downturn, but they don't tell you to just buy random stuff. They tell you to buy quality stocks. These are quality. If the fundamentals change on a stock, then yes, they are going to change the actual stock, the stock rating in the quant. You know, we can bring up Micron. Micron is one of the top 10 stocks. Okay? It's a strong buy in the quant. If the fundamentals change, the quant is going to change that. These are quality stocks. If the market was down 15% or more, Seeking Alpha went back and they looked at their market performance. If you bought the Seeking Alpha top stocks during a 15% market downturn, Seeking Alpha was up, I think it was like 80% or something. It's in the presentation. But the S&P would be up over, they brought up, if you bought the Seeking Alpha top stocks over when it's down 15%, then over 2 years later, you're up 50%. Just in the S&P. Now, if you bought the top 10 quant stocks, you're up over 117%. Pointing out, the quant has quality. Now, I saw this last year. And I'll bring up a particular stock, okay? Credo. We can look at Credo last year because you saw this dip, okay? From January, it went from 84 down to 40 in April. You lost almost 50%, okay? But if you bought at 40, you've gotten up to $213 was the high. It's trading at $132 today. It's still a strong buy. So this is the type of thing that you want to do. And Celestica, we saw it last year with Celestica. Even the top 2024 stocks, the top 2024 stocks, if you held them into 2025, you're up over 325%. By the way, one little note is that in the event they took a poll as to what metal will outperform in 2026, silver got 46% of the vote. Okay? And again, speaking of strong buys, we're going to go over Micron. This one, it is up huge, up 10% yesterday. I even brought up, by the way, on Monday, I said when you start to see this move, go and buy MUU. MUU is a double leveraged ETF. It was up 20% yesterday. So don't tell me I don't bring up good stuff. When you see this stuff, that's when you want to move. Have a watch list available. Steve pointed out yesterday, by the way, When you look at Micron, okay, the valuation 6 months ago was an F. 6 months ago, the stock was down 100. You've made 186% if you bought it when the valuation was an F. It's cheaper now. I will tell anyone out there, if you don't have a subscription and you want to see these 10 stocks right here, the fourth link, it will take you to Seeking Alpha and you can get $30 off. But the key, just find out what the 10 stocks are. Cancel if you don't like it within 7 days. No harm, no foul, no money out of your pocket. It is a great list of stocks. Yesterday's picks were super focused on AI. I'd say that the Quant and the Quant says that AI isn't a bubble. It's not a bubble. He picked one of the 2025 top stocks and put it back in the 2026 stocks, even though this one was up over 100%. Steve mentioned setting them up as a portfolio. I have them in a portfolio in my watch list. You'll see it down here, top 2026 stocks. I have the top 2025 stocks, and you can see year to date, freaking EAT is up 8%. Urban Outfitters up 7%. We are 7 days in. This is still a list that's outperforming. Buying one share of each stock from yesterday's thing would cost you $1,800, okay? If you just wanted one share. If you buy 10 shares, it's $18,000. I asked specifically why there were no energy stocks. Even though we know that Jensen Huang has said the bottleneck is energy, Steve mentioned it. They are seeing energy prices going lower and lower, even with the Venezuela stuff. CVX, by the way, Chevron, this one was the Dow stock that led it up like 10%. Look, it pulled back 5%. Any reaction in the market is an overreaction. So why didn't they pick energy stocks? Because they see energy going cheaper. What does that do to an energy company's earnings? It brings them down. I bought one stock yesterday because they said it's a smaller cap stock. It's also an alpha pick. So I thought, okay, I already own this one. I'm going to double my position in it. I am up over 2% on that particular position. Another position I bought, I only bought two of the stocks yesterday. Another one was because it was a small cap industrial, and I think I'm slightly up on that one. At 1 hour and 40 minutes, remember this and bookmark this, when they post the actual event, at 1 hour and 40 minutes, Steve shows you how to go into the screener and look at this. And if you go to Stock Screener on Seeking Alpha, you can see there's all stocks, there's top rated stocks, there's top Quant dividend stocks, there's stocks by Quant. That's the one he took you into. Okay? And he goes over all of the ones that are in here. He said, you can look at these and see what's up there. I brought up Light, and there was a great discussion about Light in the comment section. Okay, LITE. This is one that's in the Google ecosystem. I liked it. He also brought up why Seeking Alpha doesn't have an ETF. Okay, even though you get all of this outperformance with alpha picks, and even with the Pro Quant portfolio, which you can try for $89. By the way, a link is on Linktree. But again, why don't they have an ETF if they're so good? He brought it up. They're not an asset manager. They're an information system. And so it's tools like this that can help you get an edge on the market, but they don't manage money. And then, again, that's Seeking Alpha. Here's my take on the 2026. But Investing Experts Podcast, again, you don't have to buy anything. The Investing Experts Podcast is on Spotify. It is on Apple Podcasts. It is out there. Or you can read it here and listen to it here on Seeking Alpha. Whatever you want. This is a Q&A about the Quant system. And it's great. So get the 7-day trial. Go and outline and listen. Go and find out how to use the Quant system for 7 days and get the top 2026 stocks. because again, you can get a free 7-day trial. And if you're serious about things, I would suggest the bundle. The bundle is the best opportunity to save money because you get alpha picks, which is a portfolio that I am personally heavily invested in. And it beat my portfolio last year. And you save over $150. And listen to this podcast. He talks about Credo, the one that I just brought up. Okay, Credo is one that was a top pick last year. And this one, it's trading between 29 and 213. And the Quant has it as a strong buy. He talks about why this one has lagged in that podcast. It's a great podcast. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about Micron. Okay? Because am I going to go run out and buy Micron? Micron was up 10% yesterday and we're at all-time highs. Am I going to go out there and buy it? And I want to bring up a couple of tools that I have. Okay? Sidekick, which is Trendspider's AI. And if you don't have Trendspider, again, it's on Linktree. When you sign up for an annual subscription, you can get my 4-hour algorithm. It's on sale. You can get this premium for 32% off, $61 a month. And I want to bring up Micron specifically because this is a high flyer, okay? And it was picked as like I said, that's the one that I'm going to give you out of the 10, that it was picked as a top 2026 stock. So it's at all-time highs. What do you do with that? Well, a couple of things, okay? Let me bring up. Sidekick can now manage your alerts, create alerts for individual symbols, or watch lists, editing alerts, and more. Sidekick got an upgrade. And so I went into Perplexity, and I basically said, and here's the long prompt. I want to create a prompt for Trendspider Sidekick to analyze Micron as a top 2026 stock from Seeking Alpha. Again, this is how you use the tools that you have. I have Perplexity Pro, which I got free for a year. I didn't pay for it. And I put these things in, and I put the analysis from Seeking Alpha in here on Micron. And I asked, give me a prompt for Trendspider. And you can get that prompt. And so I went into Sidekick and I did this. Okay. And the analysis of this is spectacular. The valuation is rich. Historically, it has seen a 30 to 50% pullback from peaks during cycles like this. A larger than 35% pullback would signal trend failure. So put trend lines in your charts and you can have Sidekick do trend lines, or you can do it yourself. But I loved the pullback playbook. It tells you what to do, what levels to look for. It gave you a full instruction book on how to play this and the long-term investor notes. The 2026 thesis is intact. HBM supply is sold out. CapEx increasing to $20 billion to build the Idaho fab and the New York fab. This is a multi-year structural build, not a one-year spike. Risk factors, entry strategy. For long-term investors, wait for a 20 to 30% pullback to 232 to 270 zone. Current price of 343 is extended. If you must enter now, scale with 25 to 33% of the position and add on dips. Again, a Sidekick just leads you down it gives you the playbook. And you get Sidekick when you sign up for Trendspider. Again, I'm listening to my 4-hour algorithm, which outpaces, you can see it down below, 335% over the last 24 months versus 282%. So I'm in this one heavy. I bought it at 265. I wasn't comfortable. Looks like a genius idea. Want to know why? Because on Savvy Trader, I was following Hamid's portfolio. And he said, this is a guy who understands fundamentals. And on December 30th, he bought a ton. December 29th, he bought a ton. He doubled down on December 30th. Again, he has a portfolio that over 1 year is up 99%, total 607%. Savvy Trader It's a great tool. And again, if you're a paid newsletter subscriber, you get all of my portfolios. So I will provide this link to this in my newsletter. But I also want to bring up a couple of things. And again, Sidekick just got an upgrade, so you can do that. But I want to bring up a couple of things because I also use Twitter or X, tomato, whatever you want, as a tool. And this Trade Whisperer brought up, if you want to understand why HBM, which is Micron, will solve the AI inference bottleneck, read this thread. I will leave you to read this thread. But here's why you listen to this guy. Is because on September 24th, 2024, he brought up, what's up with Micron? He brought it up and said, hey, let's go look at September 24th, 2024. Where was this stock trading? September 2020, we're going to have to go to a weekly chart to go back there. Where was the stock trading? And did it enter a pullback? September 2024, right here. Stock was trading around 90. Yet you had to deal with Liberation Day. But that's the only time it actually dipped below that 97 trend line. Or I'm sorry, that 97 resistance line, which was multi-year resistance. Where would I expect this one to pull back? If it does pull back, I would expect it around $200 a share. Okay? But you listen to somebody because, again, in 2024, he was right. And he's saying it can continue. And then Shy, who I follow on Twitter as well, brings up that Jensen Huang of NVIDIA spent a ton of last night's CES keynote making the point that AI is turning into memory-first models. Memory might be a bubble, but it's the new bubble. It doesn't mean you throw it out. It means if we pull back, you buy the dip. Because again, Jensen is bringing that up. Now, I brought up that we could experience supreme volatility. And I say supreme, pardon the pun. But what's the catalyst on Friday that's going to cause a bunch of volatility? Well, it might be the Supreme Court may decide the fate of Trump's tariffs on Friday. And I went in and I took this article and I went in and said, you know what? Let me ask Perplexity about this stuff. What happens if it's struck down? What happens? What can I do? Well, trading and positioning angles. It brings it up perfectly. Let's pull it down there. And you can read all this. I'll have the link to it. Into the decision markets have partially priced the tariffs risk since Liberation Day shock, with the history showing that tariff headlines can produce multi-% one-day swings and that then mean revert as the macro picture reasserts itself. For a discretionary book, lean long cyclicals, EM, emerging markets, global exporters, short favor defensive domestic plays. Net, the binary is less crash versus melt up and more about risk premium and sector style rotation. You can read all that. But what did I go in? I went in and said, you know what? What are the prediction markets saying? Because we know 2026 and 2025, 2024, it was all about prediction markets. They were right. Prediction markets currently assign low odds to the Supreme Court upholding Trump's tariffs. 70 to 80% say they will strike them down. That's going to be a volatile market. Okay? That's why I expect some volatility on Friday. The recent trends, odds have trended lower for the administration because it peaked at 40 to 49% in late 2025, dropping sharply post-oral arguments where even conservative justices expressed doubts. As of early January 2026, markets price a decisive loss as most likely with related. If they uphold this, expect volatility. If they turn it down, expect volatility. Go and do your research. Understand what that offers. Is it going to be an opportunity? Do you have your watch list ready? Because I have mine ready because of premium and alpha picks and Trendspider. That's where my watch lists are. That's where I live. My fundamental research giving me stock ideas along with my technical ability of understanding charts. And having Sidekick, it's like having a personal assistant. So if you have any questions, again, all of my links are here on Linktree. You can find out, go and research some tools that you might want, including my newsletter, Seeking Alpha Pro, which, by the way, Pro, you can try it for $90 for a month. See if you like it. It's got some benefits to it, including the Pro Quant portfolio, which is impressive. They do weekly rebalancing. It's an equal weighted portfolio. I actually like it. I'm finding that I'm going there a little bit more for more timely research. Would I buy, if I were a paying customer? I am an affiliate, but if I were a paying customer, this would be my mojo. You know that white bit man dance you ever see, like Hitch, where Will Smith is teaching Kevin James about dancing, and he goes, no, you want to live right here. You want to live right here. Don't go out there. Don't go out there. You know, this is my my dance right here. Get premium and alpha picks. You save $150. The yearly price, I've made it back at least just in alpha picks, let alone the trades that I've done. So again, if you have any questions, everything's here on Linktree. You have yourself a good day. I may talk to you Friday. I may not. It'll depend on the market. But if you have any questions, again, you can hit me up. Talk to you later. Bye. Larry. And Larry Landry as well. I have multiple Larrys. It's a good issue to have. I do need to redo the opening of the podcast as well. That's probably something that I'll do with my time off. Tomorrow I'm taking off. I am taking off tomorrow. Faux show. Because yesterday I didn't even have time to shower. I think it was 6 o'clock before I actually showered. Let's pull that down. And we'll pull this down. Okay. Do I look like an Oompa Loompa?
But Steve Cress has his article out.
Okay. Yeah, let's put in Good morning. Wah, wah. Oh, we're gonna take that out. Oh no, we're gonna put this in. Wah. Okay, and we'll put and we'll go here. Let's say I'm gonna heighten that up a little. Oh, let's go back. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Morning, Dominic. Oh. Da, 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 da. We're gonna put that in, and then I've got export file. Changed all the links already. And we're gonna put that next. I gotta do a yeah. I don't think it honestly, Larry, there were only two that were smaller cap. And he made mention of this, that the Quant is now favoring large cap stocks. And Micron, I guess Micron would be a larger cap. It's a consider large cap. I mean, it's 386 billion. And if you go on, the homepage, you can see Micron's the top large S&P 500, then the mid cap and small cap. So there weren't many small caps on that entire list, which I found interesting. I found super interesting. But yeah, and I think I had quite a bit. I think I owned 5 or 6 of them already. It might have been 5. I didn't feel the need, and I'll and this is why I think it's a good thing to have the bundle there, is because a lot of those are alpha picks. There were quite a few alpha picks. I think like 4 of them were alpha picks. But what's nice about it is you've already had them. So you can know that Steve says there's still quality picks. They're strong buys. The fundamentals are good. So on dips, the likelihood, I talked to Steve Cress about charts off camera when I interviewed him, and he doesn't use charts that much at all. And so he's pretty much waiting for quality stops to take a dip when when he was running his hedge fund and stuff. So I thought that was super interesting to listen to. Let's go to Canva. Yeah, let's just do I do already have a where is it? There it is. Let's do templates, YouTube, thumbnail. Wah, wah. Let's find something that looks like that. There we go. I think that looks enough like this. Customize this template. And we're going to take that guy out. We're going to take these over here. We're going to stock chart. Stock candle sticks. And let's see, uploads. let's see. Do I want I think I like just this one. Let's see. I'm going to cut this one down. No. Let's bring in this one. Yeah, I love it. I mean, that rabbit hole of seeking alpha is just so good. You know what? Let's bring in this one. Background remover. Yeah. That's a little flashy. And we're going to call this 2026 dip playbook. Do that like that. And this line spacing. Let's try and bring this in. This is what I'm trying to model. And we'll edit and we will grab text. And this seems to, there we go. Grab. Let's edit this. Grab text. And grab. And then we'll highlight that. Edit. Grab text. And down at the bottom. And grab. Okay. Now we're going to delete that. And I'm going to delete that. Let's delete that. And we will bold. And let's find. There we go. And line spacing. And let's see. Wah wah. Impact Anton. Condensed sans serif in the style of Impact. Let's see. Okay, I guess I'll have to live with that. I like it better. Oh, see, I don't like that one. God, picking out a font. Nope. You know what? Maybe I could just let's see. Yeah. Let's just put that back in there and we'll edit and magic grab. We'll grab that guy and we'll remove him. And then place background. And I'll remove that text. I'll remove this text. I'll keep this in here. Remove this text. Remove that text. Remove that. Oh, look at that. Oh, it didn't. Oh. Okay. Let me just. Let's. We're gonna get that out of there. Let's see. No, I don't care about that. I care about, we're going to put that in there. And then edit. No. Grab text is what we're going to do. Grab. And we're going to delete that. And we'll delete that. Oh, see, it's not putting it in the right. Okay. Let's edit and we'll grab and oh, I like that. We'll delete that. Playbook for buying the dip. memory, super cycle, quant quality, and Friday alert. And we'll take this out here and we'll take this guy and we'll put that there. And elements alert. We'll use this. Okay. I think I'm good with that. Let's just shrink this a little bit down. And then, I'm gonna edit. Magic eraser. Let's see. Erase. Hopefully, yep. Okay, it did it. Erase. Done. Perfect. Share. Download. Okay. Creators on Spotfiy. And I'm sure this one's already done. Yep, there we go. We will get the title in. We will get the description. Pick trading podcast. Oh, no. Oh, I wanted this. Episodes. Okay. Select all, copy, get out of that, paste, upload the okay, we're gonna delete these. Okay, okay. In this episode, promotional content, I've got to get the episode highlights and bullet points. And we're going to put that episode summary. There we go. And we'll take all this and put it over here. Upload videos. Desktop. Top 2026 stocks. Market is open. Let's say QQQ flat. Nothing exciting. Palo Alto Networks is up 2%. I mean, anything under 200 on Palo Alto Networks, I mean, it's in that range. So Eli Lilly is up over 1,000. Cleveland Cliffs down by 5%. Again, any reaction is an overreaction on materials and gas. And Bank of America is down 1%. Wow, what's Goldman Sachs? 0.5%. Why is Bank of America down so much? That's a $50 stock. So playlists, daily podcast recordings. Okay, this one's still about 35 minutes remaining. Whoa. Wow. 47 minutes left. Is my upload that bad? Probably have to get off here. Bye. Will you be back early? Are you back late today? No worries. I can look. Don't let me keep you. Are you going to the gym? No. Okay. I'm going to hop off here. I think I need the upload. So I will talk to you guys maybe Friday. Enjoy. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.